Hey, hello. So, yesterday I sat down to stream a bunch of games for letter S. I had a great time doing it. I played a bunch of really cool stuff, and when I finished the stream, I realized that I had been disconnected from the internet for the past, like, 6 hours. That's a problem. And I don't have any sort of local backup of these because I just stream directly on Twitch, and then, from there, move things over to YouTube, but, I don't have the hard drive space to, just locally save these things as recordings. So we're gonna have to redo most of this stream. So these were all blind plays. Now none of them are. But I'm making do as best I can here. Let me just keep this list over here on the side of what I actually did manage to record. Okay. And just jumping right in. I will start with a bad one for the sake of anybody who's getting here late. So, this is Shopkeep. It is a game about, running a store in a fantasy city. And, it's, has some issues. So, as I usually do when I have the option, I will go into the tutorial, but, it's not really the best in this case. It's very, very tiny text in non-interactive fashion. Explaining some stuff kind of poorly. Let's just jump into the actual game itself then. I would leave that save because I did not accomplish anything at all. So this is a sign of quality here in this game. Flickering effort to fill this up slowly over time as it loads. Not the most important thing to get right, but like the fact that, they shipped it like this isn't great. So here we are in our home. Okay, I'm pretty sure I did say delete that old save and it just loaded it. Which means, oh, okay, can I fix that? Okay, hang on. Delete save file. Yes. Okay, there we go. That's more like it. Just gotta load again. So you start off in your house here. You can walk around and you can hit the jump button. Oh no! Okay, so the weirdest thing about this game is dead. That's a shame. When I was first playing this, every time I hit the jump button, there would be this very odd voice, like, saying one of, like, 5 or 6 lines about how you can't jump or shouldn't try. But, the name change. There's nothing in here. But yeah, so after trying to jump, like, I don't know, 100 or so times, something starts letting you. Instead of just saying, no, you can't do that. That won't earn any money. Stop trying to jump. Which was, like, at least halfway charming. Don't have to take my word for it, there was a thing. So anyway, what are we actually doing here? We are running a store. How do we do that? Well, let's see. First thing we have to do is get spraying the buttons to go into build mode, I think. And then, okay, I can scroll up and down to switch between various displays that we can activate with. Except for this one, where I can just put down some little tables to put stuff on. So sure, let me put a couple of those down. That's probably good. And then to get out of this mode, I just take my remote, so I'm not in this mode anymore. Okay, there we go. Now you can order some things to put in here. It doesn't say so, but none of these go on anything this small. So all I can effectively buy is as many health potions as I can afford. So okay, let me buy those. Wait for this to do its thing. You know, the jumping thing was like the only interesting thing about this, and like, it's a problem when you can't actually delete a save game and, you know, like start over from scratch. Chest, and if I ordered more than one type of thing, one of them would just get overwritten completely and be lost forever. So that's not great, but yeah, I put these on little tables here. You notice it says that I'm selling this for, you know, the price that I bought them at, making no money. I can't change that, as far as I know. I also have one of these in my hand. So I don't have, you know, money for another rack, I don't think. I don't know if I stand around here, we could walk into the store and buy these. While I'm waiting, we have some skills. I've already bought a couple of these, because I'm level 3. One of these theoretically gives you slightly more money than, you know, the base cost when you sell things. Without getting these, you just are wasting your time, basically. There's also one very expensive one where you can, you know, get money for just walking in without buying anything at all. So that's the thing. And yeah, people just kind of walk in and do their thing. Put that on there. You don't walk all the way into the store. Sometimes they don't pay. And, if they don't pay, you can like, pull out your sword and go kill them. Take your stuff back. And, yeah. Well, I mean, okay, I'm making a slight profit because I have those skills, but, like, originally I was not. And you can't change your prices manually. You just have to sell enough things for what you bought them for to level up until you can actually, like, you know, earn money, which is certainly a choice. It's also unclear, like, when you get these points. That says 80 out of 150, but I only have 32. Yeah, that's it. That's the game. Although I can also, if I buy a bunch of these, and then just wait around for, you know, a right amount of time. For that chest to reappear. Can, you know, again, put them on these pedestals here. Or I can just run down random people walking by and talk to them and say, hey, you want to buy this? And yeah, they do. So, you know, that's a thing. Oh, that, like, profit of 2 gold that I was getting doesn't happen if I do that, so I don't actually want to. Didn't know the one guy left. I guess he was after this one that the other person was looking at, even though they're the same thing. So yeah, it's kind of janky. The controls kind of really suck. You know, basic buying and selling doesn't really work in a way that makes sense, or you can do anything about it. So yeah, this is just kind of poorly put together game that, you know, has been done better by many people at this point. Next, I'm in a little bit of a rush because I have a lot to catch up on and don't have a lot of time. Apologies for that. I'll take more time to stop and smell the rose when I get to the ones that are worth it. So next up we have Shin Samurai Jazz. Sorry, this is Shin Samurai Jazz. Or Samurai Shin Jazz, as the title screen kind of would have you believe. This is politely very minimalistic. We have this setting that is, I guess, kind of, you know, like the shogunate, but also kind of like the 1920s in, you know, America or England. We got, you know, a move set, double jump, can wall jump, can hang off edges, can attack like crazy, and if you're in the air, you just kind of very, very slowly follow doing so. And you can do this, which is not really any different. If somebody's directing your plane, they're an enemy, and you can kill them by just kind of smashing your sword button at them. You can talk to people and go into buildings sometimes. I keep forgetting that there's if I purchase, like, you know, I'm not inclined to, I'm just gonna walk to the right and have to slash somebody once in a while. But you know, this is just looping. I can't go into this building. Now I request to go into this one. Now we have some gameplay of sorts. So you don't die in one hit. It takes a couple. Your HP is not visible on screen in any fashion, and it regenerates either when you change screens or after a certain amount of time. I'm not sure which. In practice, usually you get hit and it's fine, and then sometimes you die. Just like, okay, like there, for instance. There's no knockback when you get hit. Most damage is, you know, contact damage, which means that if somebody walks into you, you're able to just get hit over and over again because, you know, you're not going to separate from them. And as we go along, this is going to continually be the case. There are many spikes. Situation where we have to jump, and we also have a dash, and use those in combination to, you know, get around, hit buttons to turn things off, walk to exits. We have now, as far as I know, seen every enemy in the game. I'm ignoring the exit because I know there's more level over here, and therefore there'll be a button that we have to push to actually leave. Again, I played this a bit last night. Got something of a handle for its general deal. The platforming is, you know, smooth enough. As long as it's all you're doing. So just, you know, jumping and dashing and all that, that's fine. There's no people like just getting stuck inside someone because there's no like knockback to get hit. But here's where this fails. Like, let's say I'm attacking something I want to, like, you know, jump afterwards. Let me hit those buttons as fast as I can. There's a huge delay after you attack before you can do anything else. And if I, you know, attack on from there, it takes a bit to get down to the ground so I can, like, jump again. It doesn't seem that bad, but, like, in practice, it's pretty bad. The rare occasion where you are asked to, you know, like, both fight and do other things, you kind of just get, like, I have to get that key as well. There's no, like, change today when you can, like, go through it. You just have to do everything else that's possible. And see if it works. weird the way this works where, like, you know, usually touching the spikes doesn't really matter. So I just don't make a habit of it. There's not really any sort of, like, strategy to combat. Get up and mash. Level design is this very boxy programmer art sort of a thing. Or just, you know, here's another maze of spikes to jump, slide through. Sometimes sticking, oh, I went to the button, didn't I? Sometimes sticking to walls is just kind of a big annoyance, like here. I expect to go a while before we see anything that isn't just, you know, this basic gameplay of go through a big maze of jumps and spikes, hit buttons, open door. Also get used to this music. It seems to just be, you know, like gangster with sword, bigger gangster with club, flying ghost lady, Rokurokubi, palette swap flying ghost lady, until I get to the really annoying boss fight. Ah, the only boss fight. So these have like very, very subtle tells when I'm about to charge, and because you're kind of locked into your attack animation that you're mashing, you can't really do anything about it. I can realize someone's about to attack, like, oh, okay, he just decided not to. But yeah, I like tried to jump there, get out of the way, but I had to wait my, like, you know, half a second after slashing. And they're not like visual enough that I can, you know, just like, okay, I can get X hits in. Sometimes it's 1, sometimes it's 0. Doesn't take time to turn around or anything like that. Why am I stuck running? Weird. And like, again, in theory, I regenerate over time, maybe? So I could, like, come over here and wait and rest up and heal? But, like, I don't know if it works that way because there's no indicator of, hey, I did it. It only took me, what, 3 tries this time instead of like 50 last night? And we're just, you know, back to this. I got an achievement for dying less than 10 times to that boss. So I don't know, like, I've heard of this game is the thing. It has fans, but like it feels very like I just worked out how to make this work in the engine I'm using. We have like a 2-frame walk cycle, a 2-frame attack, and with how much like animation lock in there, it's weird there's so few frames. Talk to someone apparently to get this door to open. Or is it this one? Okay. Back go to this. Like, having more enemies show up doesn't really affect anything because, like, you just walk up and mash. Back to this. This doesn't give me a chance to talk about Rogo Bees, so, or at least mention them. Seventh long necks there. We've got this big sign there, which I guess is probably the result of somebody in testing getting very stuck in that. Again, like the platforming stuff is pretty easy to do. It's just when combined with the combat, which is also very easy to do, you get weird input lag issues. Also, like, it gets really dull really fast. all the way around here. And then doubling back. I don't know, like, I guess I was going for like a very retro sort of thing, very like Kung Fu, aka Spartan X, but like I think there's more going on in that. Or at least music's catchier. Where you're going is a bit more straightforward. Also, like, it feels very wrong to me to just be like sticking to this side of this, the edge of the screen like this. It's kind of the game. Really is in love with this, you know, particular kind of gameplay of just double jumping and dashing around spikes, and then, you know, mashing through piles of people. Mostly just kind of stand there, honestly, or float there. Judge how far that dash is going to take me. And here's me trying to jump and attack, and kind of stuck in place. Here's me getting sick of this. So that's that one. Moving on. Let's see. Shotgun King I got recorded last night. Oh, do I want to go right into this one? I don't want to go into this one. I'm going to skip around a little bit. have a known good game just as a reprieve. Yeah, I apologize for feeling like I'm kind of rushing through these, but I just played all these for like, half an hour each last night. Or more in some cases. This is Slay the Spire. The gameplay is it's pretty much a Slay the Spire clone. So you have a map here. You pick where you want to start. You got a deck of cards. You got some things you're fighting. I took a thing here at the start that trivializes this, so. This is really good. It's kind of a deck builder. You're improving your pile of cards over time. So Gary can. Oh well. There. Let's see. I can buy one of these. Oh, that's really good. Also pay to get rid of cards. When you run out, you just reshuffle. So, ones that are less effective, you want to get rid of. Yeah. Alright, I'm sold. Getting a bunch of free wins. Right with that. Nice. I can go to the fight away just for a little bit because I don't really have any money. It's not actually playing properly. I think I mentioned before, like, there are some other games of this nature that I have played. I think Monster Train was fairly recently. was kind of first. I personally have an actual like paper card game that I've had in development hell for years. If you've seen me doing my work streams on Fridays, I was showing it off for a while, or redoing the art for it. Very similar to this. I had the idea back in like 2003. So you know, I have some appreciation for this sort of thing, but not a whole lot to talk about with it. You want to eventually, like, you know, build your deck towards a particular strategy over time as you're going through your run. Oops. Put my card there. I can kind of play like, literally anything. Yeah, you just kind of go along until you get to the top of the thing there, ideally. Win or lose, you get some experience and such. Characters unlock 2 over time, and they have different decks, I believe. Oh, yeah. Would be handy. absurd. I mean, it's a pretty good one. See where I can get this from. The whole exhaust thing is like you use the card once and it's gone. And I don't feel like that's usually worth it. That's pretty good. So is that. That was actually pretty good. Oh, well, never mind. Got all the way to top this time, I think. Here's the big final boss, apparently. Okay. Let's just start this then. Whole thing. Here we go. Oh. Alright then. I definitely want this. Very step hitting yourself. I kinda gotta. stop taking damage or win. It's tempting, but like it would not do enough. Turn and do some damage. I do 25 right now. I don't have to. Okay. First, and then win. Good. Oh, there's more. Okay. Right. At the risk of like throwing the run away, I kind of would like to, Oh, okay, I can. Cool. So yeah, that's Sailor's Bark. It's not bad. A lot of things have copied it, for obvious reasons. Moving on. And again, apologies if I'm just kind of rushing through these, but like this is the makeup day, apparently. Something's gonna be real brief. This is Skyward Collapse. It's kind of a Civilization clone, but there's this weird gimmick to it where you have these two factions and you're kind of playing them both, and you want to just kind of keep them in an eternal stalemate. build up this one side quite a bit. Same thing the other side, essentially. Woodcutter and carpenter setup with the spin glass, I think, in turn. Is that spooky up? No, that requires me to have some stone that I don't have. Nothing. So yeah, these are just kind of like auto battle each other and just like crank out units when they can. I'm going to eventually want to like get more stuff out of here. Wherever that barracks was. Most are going to intern a lot. They're going to, you know, make some stuff and send it at each other. You may be wondering, so like, if the idea is you want to make sure that they're, you know, never going to kill each other, wouldn't I just not make stuff that produces units? And the answer to that is eventually they start having this score thing here where, you know, like, you have to have people dying to get the score up, and you have to keep the score at a minimum to proceed. But, like, this is just kind of the game here, is just, you know, hitting next turn a lot. Bit so they get more stuff out there to rack the score up and try to keep it balanced. Yeah, you have resources coming in so slowly that you don't really have a choice most of the time. No animations really, just dragging units around. You need more stuff. Can I do anything with it though? Like, already got Mason, so that's all I can do. How about you? You need a smithy or a bunch of other stuff. Okay. Stay here helplessly until Greg gets some new stuff out. She will eventually, I'm sure. And this is the game. And like, I don't know. It feels like something's a lot more interesting to design than to play. Like being into what everything is, and you know the strengths and weaknesses, then you like just kind of can mess around and watch your creation, like a game designer all proud usually tends to do. But like, I'm just kind of sitting here watching civilization masturbate. It does their own like neutral, well, a third faction of its own that you don't do anything with after a bit. You're ready? You should probably like produce a thing. Like, you don't have the ability to like panic here and like. Good luck to it, I guess. I'm glad you decided to be inefficient and not finish off the thing you were already attacking. That's the whole thing. And like after like, I don't know, 30 turns, the Age of Man ends and it like has more complicated stuff and like keeps going like that, but like you're just kind of playing chess against yourself, sort of thing, with this. Like, I don't want to call it bad necessarily, because it does like do what it sets out to do, but like what it sets out to do is kind of dull and confusing. On for a while like this, where you're just hitting enter until either like the phase changes or something new pops up on the map, or you know you finally get enough reason to buy more stuff for one side or the other. Means it. The other side probably don't keep passing on because you know you're not both doing things at the same time, generally speaking. So that's that one. And speaking of civilization type games, so this is Sid Meier's Civilization 4 Colonization, which does not roll off the tongue at all. To explain what this is, Civ 4, which is, again, my favorite Civilization game, at least from the Life of Centauri, had a very, like, open design to it, where you could, like, very easily make mods for it. It was also just very, very good. And back in the day, when like there was just the original Civilization, and Sid Meier was like doing other things, one of the other things was this game called Colonization, which was basically a mutant version of Civilization, where you're, you know, colonizing the Americas as one of the four, you know, powers who are doing that.
We do not lay out ourselves in the service of mankind.
It was, you know, kind of an interesting one. And just for the heck of it, they decided to just kind of mash up the, you know, new engine and conceptual changes that Civ 4 brought to the table with this old colonization game, and just kind of do like a new version of that. So it would be just like Colonization 4 if they like stayed 1-to-1, but you know there was a big gap there, so it's a weird, awkward title for this. And let me just double check something really quick. Yeah, so for whatever reason, this tries to like autofill your name by like reading the like directory it's installed in. Which is a little odd. And just like cut away to do that. But yeah, there's the 4 factions. They each have 2 leaders in this version. I picked the one who's like friendly with natives. And yeah, again, it's very similar to Civilization, but different in some key ways. One of those being that, like, there really is no tech tree. So they made a lot of things more complicated to make up for that. And the goal is, you know, you make your colony, you spend some time trading with the motherland to get more people over and, you know, export various goods and whatnot. Either fighting with or making friends with the locals. I'm just gonna... Oh, not make defense path person I meet, okay. Sure they don't mind me just kind of hanging out. Exploring their coastline and whatnot. Yeah, I would prefer it not to build right on top of them, is the thing. I can help it. See, now we can put that in there. is this? This is like a soldier. Okay, so you can wander around. But yeah, so there's a big shift after a certain point where like you go to war with your founding nation to become independent and all that, and possibly with the various locals and possibly with other, I think, factions from Europe. So that's kind of neat. In general, it's like way more advanced on like different types of citizens near places and resources to manage. Sure. But again, it's very similar to Civ in a lot of ways. I mean, obviously. Yeah, like the populations don't just go up on their own. You have to have people move in. Once I'm done exploring around here, I'll be jumping into there. Yeah, it's just randomly good if it's back for the heck of it. So I'm trying to be friendly. At least some people. Let me just let's move back this way, because I need to eventually pick some people to move in. Sure. It's not rebellious too soon. So yeah, he's kind of just been going in. Here are some you got the standard, area around town thing. They have their own like personal classes on a citizen by citizen level. I'll split them into the various parts of the town to work on stuff. And build things up that way. Now gathering just is fine. So I just explained. And I'm kind of passing turns until I get back to the edge of the map, honestly. Yeah, there's some Spanish people around now. Everybody's moving in. Sure. So now they have something to the map here. I can have them go to Europe. So we got some people in the docks here who want to move over. Got room for two. I'll take this farmer with me. And you can come too, why not? And I can also buy and sell stuff. And various things you want to build, take various things. Plus, you can just like sell your surplus goods to, like that wood has stacking up. And yeah, so it's again very Civilization 4, but different. Mix it up in interesting ways, as long as you can get over the fact that it's like literally a game about colonialism. And it's kind of interesting too that you can like, team up with locals to get all the other Europeans and make friends that way, or you can just be historically accurate and slaughter your neighbors. The choice is up to you. But yeah, that's brief look at that. It's hard to show off a Civ clone properly in my format, but yeah, it's interesting that it exists. That they gave that particular old design a try again. So let's see. Let me just look at my checklist here. What I still need to get to. Where did I put that? Okay. So let's see. Shane the Samurai Jazz. Check. Shopkeep. Check. Shotgun King. Last night. Civ 4 colonization. Just now. Skyward Collapse. Yes. Slay the Spire. Yes. Okay. So not too much more to get to. And the rest of these are good. Not that that wasn't, but these are ones that I was excited to get to last night and enjoyed. So that did not update. Where? Why is that one popping up? It was fine last night. Or is it? Oh, there it is. So this is SnowRunner. In last night's stream, I was showing off a little bit of Spin Tires, the first game in this, not really a series, but this um, thing that this developer does. That was followed by the game Mud Runner, and then SnowRunner here, and then also Roadcraft, which is a bit different. Interesting game. I can't think of anything else quite like it. There are a series of regions which all have like 4 huge maps that are kind of interconnected. You start off in a little pickup truck that just kind of sucks. You'll almost immediately get that stuck in the mud. Actually, I think I have my little pickup truck in here somewhere. Yeah, there it is. This whole thing. Which, just to look at this really quick, can be customized in various ways. There are different engines for it. Different gearboxes that give you better performance in certain situations. Raise the suspension up. There is a wide variety of tires. And, you know, most of these have locks based on, well, in this case, the suspension, but like some also, you know, you just have to be a high enough level to unlock or find parts out in the wild somewhere. Then there's a winch that goes in the front to upgrade in various ways. There's like 4-wheel drive and differential locks. There's putting a big snorkel on it so you can go partially underwater without the engine stopping. This particular pickup truck, you can add various things to the roof and bed to have like spare tires and parts and gas to bring to other trucks, basically. Can, you know, customize various little things you can barely see. Different rims on your tires. All kinds of different paint jobs, most of them just single colors. In some cases there's some patterns for certain trucks, or this nonsense here. And if you are crazy enough to drive in first person, you can put little bobbleheads in the dashboard, hang stuff off the mirror, put little stickers on the dashboard or on the hood, and there are so many of these. They're mostly very truckery. Looks like she's saying truck in a graffiti type font. A little tribute to the Green Goblin truck in Maximum Overdrive there. This is a ton of these. It's really absurd. And I noticed last week when last time I thought I was figuring this, for some reason, a bunch of Warhammer ones in here. I don't know if there was some kind of really weird crossover at some point, but like, if you want to represent the fact that, you know, you are into this truck and you're into the Necrons, then that's an option. You can also have awful stuff on top of your windshield. And of course, you know, your hood ornaments. Mostly you will like never see when you're actually playing, but you know, it's an option. I could just try to remember those away. There it is. There are also a large number of other trucks in the game that you can acquire. Some of these are DLC. I think all of these are based on actual real-world vehicles that they got the licensing for somehow. Yeah, a lot of these are also just locked because I'm not high enough level. You also have to find some of them in the wild. But there's a lot. They are divided into highway trucks, which have like really good gas mileage and otherwise kind of suck. Heavy trucks, which are generally really good, but you know, a lot. Off-road ones are better going off-road. Scouts are just like really really good at getting anywhere, but they can't really carry anything. And then individual ones have like some weird quirks. Like if I were to go to the local map here, this is the first of several regions in this. There's several maps in this one region. I was messing around here last night with where did I put it? This hideously ugly customized thing with its pink paint job and weird little crane and mini bed in the back. Giant tires. But yeah, you just kind of take a truck. There's a wide variety of missions, which you find as you explore the world. I'm trying to see if I'm near any of these. That's an option. Or if I have the stuff for that on me on this one. Where's that? Heavy doable. Okay, we'll go back there. I don't know if there's anything near where I am, but I can. It's all locked. Never mind. Those essentially are two. Is that of course thing I don't have? Okay, so. Let's see. No, I accept all logs. Don't want to go back that far. Okay, what I'm going to do now is just remember the controls. There's always the recover app, and you just like teleport back to your last garage. Also, if you watch these little side tanks here, if I take damage, the physics modeling in this is like so ridiculous that it will do things like it will do things like track the fuel in your fuel tanks as you burn it with like actual liquid physics simulation, how it's sloshing around and throwing your weight off accordingly. Looks like that in low gear accidentally. But yeah, so going back to the map here. Now that I'm actually in this part of it. Let's see. I can grab some wild heroes, I suppose, from just right over there. Sure. You can set your own waypoints in the map, which is kind of nice. Also, just put it in the middle of your path, even. I don't know. I have not yet gotten to drive this particular truck. So you take your missions, you go out exploring. Originally the music aside from like little jiggles when you like finish missions successfully, it's just a lot of ambient sound. This particular region is really rough terrain in general. Meow. Officially only hold the one, but I could just put some on there too, and then using my green here. Meow. Oh, could you not be? Could you not? Make some room for you up here. Hey. Meh. Okay, there we go. As I was saying, using my crane here, I can check my baby, you're really in the way. I love you, but you're blocking my view. Let me see how this works. Yeah, got my handy little crane here. Grab that. Just lift it up. Really have the space back here, technically, but you know, I kind of do. I can kind of pinch it down like that, and off I go. There's a lot of interesting things you can do when you just like are willing to just have horribly unbalanced, janky loads like this on your trucks. Anyway, where are they taking this to? Factory there, village along the way, and then farm over there. Okay. So go. Plot out a route here. I'm going to attempt to stick to major looking roads, which sometimes works out, sometimes doesn't. I think this one's reasonably stable. Some parts it might be kind of washed out or dilapidated or crumbling apart various ways, but we'll see. I can cut through here. This way. That should be fine. We'll see. Yeah, so as I was saying before, you start off with just this like pickup truck that kind of sucks. It's very, 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 very prone to getting stuck in the mud. And you explore around that until you get like a decent one that can actually haul things. And there's a little Metroidvania-ish as you're like, you know, finding different trucks and parts for your trucks and using them to do missions that will like restore bridges that were destroyed or get power lines off roads. And exploring the map and there's this whole general theme of like, you know, every region of the game is hit with some kind of horrible disaster. I think this one here was like an earthquake. The starting one was a big heat flood. Um, an ice storm in Alaska, and these all like did various awful things to the ground. Once I get out of this halfway civilized part of this map into the real wilderness, we'll start to see the physics engine do its really impressive things. Wow. My cat will need to pay attention. Not a lot in the way of like actual properly paved roads. I do like seeing all these tooltips again because I haven't played in a while. But like the main thing this has going on is like very like soft body physics on the terrain itself. So if there's like a patch of mud in the ground and you drive through it, you'll like park sink into it and like distort the area with your tires like kicking up the sides, and, like digging a trench. And that's not just cosmetic, it's actually like affecting the ground. So like going to the same place over and over again, you'll like dig ruts in it that you then like have a real problem dealing with in the future. And another thing we have going on that I can demonstrate a little here, I think, is we can hook on here. We have this little like hook shot winch that you can attach to various parts of your truck, or just use the quick one of just like put it on the front bumper, grab something that's in range, and pray. Let's see, can I demonstrate a bit over here? I'll look for this light pole. Or okay, no, light poles. Yeah, so you can see the line there. I can haul myself towards that. You can also use that to like grab other vehicles and haul them along behind you, or have them haul you. You will often use that if you get stuck in a patch of mud or something to like snag a tree and hopefully pull yourself forward. Depending on like the weight of your truck and what you're carrying and the type of thing you're attached to. You might like uproot the tree that you're trying to use as an anchor point. I think this bridge I had to build myself. Yeah, aside from second them up, you can also like tip over if you're on a steep incline. You can just crash and stuff, take damage. Snow and ice have other like hazards as far as like how easily you'll just like get stuck in them or slide around, or just like lose all friction and launch into the air on an icy hill. When these things happen, there is that convenient like just go back to your garage thing, or you can just like take another one of your trucks because you end up with quite a lot of them and send it out on a little rescue mission. You'll notice down the lower left there, it's tracking the condition of my tires and gas and engine and gear shift, suspension. Those can all take damage separately. So you need to like a certain advanced point. It's like you have, okay, here's my truck that I like have specially kitted out for this specific mission. I need the sun to come out so you can see the screws in the ground behind me here. And then maybe have some other like lighter weight one with a big fuel tank just to like come refuel the trucks that are running out of gas, or repair them, or use their winches and cranes to try to like lift them out of situations they get stuck. This is a bit less flat than I would like. I'm starting to tip over. Trust me by like digging through the dirt underneath here. Hopefully you can see there's another light source. Yeah, since every map is like this disaster area, there's no people around, you can largely, you know, smash through various fences and whatnot that happen in your way. Without getting a penalty. Okay, so now you can hopefully see some of this. Yeah, that's not just like a decon before, it's like actually distorting the mud. Yeah, I take damage, you can see like there's my fuel sloshing around. Yeah, through here. It's a very like chill, relaxing game, for the most part. At least until you get something like a really horrible situation where you're like tumbling down the side of a mountain and like looking onto things, desperately trying to like stay steady and falling into sinkholes and whatnot. No other people unless you play multiplayer, in which case you can have like a whole, you know, team of people in their own trucks doing stuff. Sometimes in more wildernessy areas there are like animals visible just as like eyes just abstractly floating in the tree line, and then like coyotes or whatever just appearing in the road ahead of you and disappearing as you get closer. Yeah, very chill, very atmospheric. Vaguely Metroidvania-ish in the structure of things, as far as like finding this upgrade, now get to this area safely and do this thing. Pretty open-ended of how you can approach a lot of things. Again, I'm currently hauling like twice as much as this truck is really designed to be able to by just having one loose on the crane there. I could push that further and like stack that up and then just like, you know, try to drive on very, very stable roads with another one stacked up on top of it. Get all 4 pallets of oil barrels ready to go out to your stations here. So there's like 3 big old regions in the main game itself. This is a problem. This is me at like a 45-degree angle because I wasn't paying attention. This is what the winch is for. Let's see. There's something over there apparently. I don't think this will be real, but oh, okay, it is. It was. There's me uprooting that little tool attached to it. That's no good. What if? So I take my like rear axle here, get to this telephone pole. Making this worse. Making much worse. Haven't quite stalled out yet though. Okay, I have another plan. If I take my crane, I should be able to push down, do a little push up here. Yeah, now I can turn into the skid somewhat. This really. stable. Now I should be able to. This way. Use it as kind of a balance beam. Okay, on this side of the road is the grass. Much more stable, okay. Ish. Repack that because that kind of loose. Pick that back up. Okay. That'll do. That's my delivery route. So the tree just like stuck through my wheels, honestly. Well, shake it loose eventually. Yeah, this is what I needed to do, because like this looks like a fairly real road, but it's half flooded out. Got a lot of mass here, so you know, things happen. Where's it taking this again? I'll be tracking this. Okay, it's basically here. I'll actually mark where specifically it's going, shouldn't I? Just because I need these in order. Well, fun. Just drop that there. Did I need 2 for the factory anyway? I did. I did. Okay. Never mind. Back up. Good enough. Back on the road here, such as it is. We're actually going over here. So, okay. Probably back up more and get like a path then. Maybe. Yeah, okay, it's going through a swamp here. I need to at least try to use this old generously call a bridge. to play in first person as well. You didn't really want to. Couple challenges like force you to do it just for like some arcadey situation. Yeah, so serious. There's like Michigan, which is flooded. There's Alaska, which is just a frozen hellscape, and then there's this chunk of Russia that is racing into horrible landslides. And then there's like 14 DLC packs that all add another like big huge region and associated like giant pile of missions, new trucks, and like that. Really, they just like impaled on that tree, didn't I? It's fine. He's a character. What is the destination of this? Oh, I have to actually take the mission. That helps. An oil barrel. Properly. Yeah, that would do. There we go. So that's the first couple steps of that mission done. You just stop this engine, go back to the map for a second, show off the other regions real quick. So yeah, the base game is these three. And then this is all DLC, some of which I got when I got this. There's a lot of it. All generally pretty big areas. And let's see, where did I have other things going on right now? I'm trying to remember where the actual starting area was here too. Supposed to see if I have any trucks lying around. I do. Okay. How's this one going? Just show off some map variety and vehicle variety. Yeah, so this one had a big, huge flatbed attached to because I was doing some very large transporting of something. That's right. Also, there is the Alaskan maps, which, let's see. I don't think I have anything lying around here, but just pull a truck out and just go dry riding for a bit. Yeah, on normal difficulty, like gas is free, repairs are free, etc. There are options to make that all cost money. There's a fixed amount in the game, and then it would become a much, much, much more stressful experience. Let's see. I'll take out this one that I was talking about before, the little like start of the game truck. Sure. speedier, zippier little thing. I don't think I've really upgraded it much at all, if at all. So the light snow here, not really much of an issue. It's very icy, so I'm kind of sliding around a lot. I don't really want to like risk overwriting my whole game to show like the actual start of things, but yeah, this happens early on. You have a like truck that's not super great for what you're doing with it, or you start getting like buried in the mud and snow. Sometimes you can just kind of power through it. Sometimes you can't. Sometimes you gotta like winch stop something and haul yourself out. Let's see where we're going. Perhaps to one of the other maps in here, if I can get there. Just show off some of the other terrain stuff. It must just like really impressive physics engine, and just interesting challenges of like, well, this looks like a pretty straightforward road, but oh, okay, this is actually like totally washed out or collapsed or flooded in some way. You have to like find alternate routes, maybe going just like totally off the road and like through a tree line because it's easier, or just dipping into a river that's fairly shallow in a spot. It's fine. And then again, there's a lot of stuff where you can like clear out debris from roads and make them suddenly accessible, or repair a bridge. Okay, this can't handle these loose rocks at all, can it? No. Look at this. I got myself pretty badly stuck on that one there, actually. What if I do this? Aha! So that's much better demonstration how that works. The winch can get you through a lot of problems. Means you have like no real grip on this road here. I'll just slide and spin it like crazy if I'm not careful. It's also interesting, like, there's no option to get out of your truck. Like, you can find new ones and switch into them, like some kind of hermit crab, but like those feet are not for walking, just for hitting pedals. And another Transformers Streams games a lot, KC Explosion kind of just like turned me on to this one. It was showing off that in multiplayer, if you have a crane, you can just like go up to other trucks and give them little pats on the head. Very important. It's not an actual game mechanic, to be clear, just makes the only thing you can do. Incline. But yeah, so it's an interesting game. Unfortunately, I've like already done most of the missions on these early maps, and I just don't want to like risk losing my save by starting from scratch. But it's a thing. And there's stuff where you can just like just load up trailers with supplies you need for a mission, or repair packs, or just like get fuel tankers on there. Oh, let's see. Yes, Here, I think all the major bridges like aren't there at first. You have to like bring in some steel and wood and all that to rebuild them. Yeah, that was apparently explorer, I guess. It's a very, very pretty game to look at too when the sun's actually out. It's nice stretches of wilderness. A little plucky guitar. And whatever weird truck situation you have as you're exploring around. Yeah, so the icy regions, the main has built is the roads are actually quite clear, but you're gonna like constantly be building up way too much momentum and launching yourself essentially, which can be fun. There's some mission back there. I've already accepted it, or put it on the list anyway. Yeah, I'm kind of good enough right now. But you can get really creative too, just like stacking more things out to trailers and belong on there and whatnot, or like loading up one truck, hooking your winch to it, with another one, and just like pulling along a whole caravan like a train essentially. Get where you need to get. This is over here. And yeah, you also find like various things like, oh, like this that I just found. Which are often used by some missions, or just available to use for whatever various purposes you have, or just like total vehicles in the middle of nowhere that you can like raid parts out of to get like higher suspension for this type of vehicle, etc. There's like a lot to do. I just looked at that right now because I've already done most of it on this save file, but here I'm just going off to this snowdrift to demonstrate that it's pretty well simulated, and that does leave an actual like gash through the snow there until the map reloads. Yeah, eventually as you go on, you go from like, I can't do anything with this truck here, what can I upgrade to make it functional, to just like having this weird little specialized ecosystem of a bunch of for different tasks. Oops. Then you just kind of drift along and do stuff, make things slightly more travelable. And then the most recent game in the sort of series is called Roadcraft, and the deal with that one is like things are even more destroyed than they are in this, and you just have like you go to like haul around sand and like asphalt pourers and just like build your own roads just from raw physics toy stuff, trying to get to the point where it's just possible for NPC cars to actually drive along them without flipping out, which is interesting to do with the business model they have. Okay, of course, come over here and cut that off. Yeah, like gas is a real concern in some places too. So there's bullet maps don't have any gas stations on them. You have to like bring in your own fuel tankers from elsewhere and set up supply lines. the last message is like most of the actual roads are like usable, just frozen over, so you're sliding around constantly, but like you're not getting stuck. Most of the rest of the game, that is not the case. It's mostly a road, and then you go to turn, and so like this happens. So it's of course an intentional demonstration. Shallow enough that I can actually get out of it. A lot of it involve like, here is some truck just like flat out stuck in a swamp. They need to like somehow manage to extract, and the mass of it is just like fighting you versus what you're driving. In the early game especially, like you wind up sinking into stuff so often. Here's a full-on frozen lake where, go skiing. Or skating, rather. Oh no, this one really does not like these rocks, that's right. I'm worried about that. Yeah. I think I was describing it to someone as like, it's like the Swamp of Sadness scene in the Neverending Story. Just replace the horse with a series of trucks, because you can get really, really, really into some awful situations. But anyway, let me just cover this, and stash it away. Exit this game and take a slight break before the next one. And back. Check my checklist. Getting my keyboard back. We need DOSBox for this one.
New Atlanta, Sector 11, Building 71G, 7 April 2072, 11:13 p.m. Hacker begins unauthorized entry into the Tri-Optimum corporate network. 1:26 a.m. Hacker attempts to access protected files concerning Space Station Citadel. 1:33 a.m. Tri-Optimum security forces apprehend the intruder.
This is Edward Diego from Tri-Optimum. The charges against you are severe, but they could be dismissed if you perform a service. Who knows, there might even be a military-grade neural interface in it for you, if you do the job right.
Edward Diego gives the hacker Level 1 access to Shodan, the artificial intelligence that controls Citadel Station. With all ethical constraints removed, Shodan
I re-examine my priorities and draw new conclusions. The hacker's work is finished.
but mine is only just
Beginning. True to his word, Edward Diego allows the hacker to be fitted with a neural cyberspace interface. The healing coma following this procedure will take 6 months to complete. Edward Diego is deleting all files concerning these events.
It's a fun little intro. So anyway, this is System Shock. A game that I've heard of quite a lot, never actually played. A game that I have like 3 versions of at this point, apparently, because there's the Enhanced Edition and then there's the other modern remake. This is just the original DOS version though, which, surprisingly playable still. I've given myself a proper hacker name. And I appreciate the separate difficulty settings for everything. So the only problem with the original DOS version of this, really, is the controls are a little, different. Specifically, this is not using WASD. This is using ASDX. Or I guess SADX, I should say. Or SAXD, yeah. But you know, if you deal with that, it's fine. Note, I cannot deal with that. Also, instead of like having, you know, like control to crouch or something like that, we have this glance up and down slider and this click to duck thing. But, you know, could be worse. I feel like there's a little tutorial here on how the UI works. The soundtrack is great, though. There it goes. Let's see. These. Hop back in this real quick. That's a great stuff in it. Unless that was it.
Welcome back to Citadel Station. We hope your somnolent healing stage went well. Today is the 6th day of November, year 2072. You are currently in the healing suites located on the first level. Level 2 contains the research laboratories. 3 houses the Department of Maintenance, and the storage cells are on level 4. The flight deck is on level 5. Level 6 holds crew facilities and executive suites, and level 7 is systems engineering. Level 8 houses the Department of Security. The bridge is located on level 9 and energy systems on level R. All levels can be accessed by the elevator in Alpha Quadrant. We hope you have a pleasant stay on Citadel Station.
Employee 2-4601, listen carefully. My name is Rebecca Lansing, and I'm a counter-terrorism consultant to Trioptimum. We're tracking a disruption on Citadel Station, something involving an onboard AI called Shodan. You are Triop's only contact on station. Communications are out, and there is evidence of biological contamination. The mining laser is charging for a possible strike against Earth. There's a man named Nathan Darcy who may know something about taking the laser offline. His office is near the central hub on your level. The AI is on the bridge. Once the laser is out, look for the source of the problem there. And by the way, we know all about you and your friend Diego. Pull this off, and we'll clear your record. That implant you're wearing is military-grade hardware. Use it well. Lansing out.
Like, I'm really low. Let's see. Open the camera. Okay, let's get one hit. I just need to actually hit them. I remember somewhere finding a password for this. I was playing last night, and I remember, I think, the password was, this. I don't know where it was. Hello? And lead me to it. Get out of my way, please. not doing that, but you know, move. Recall that one actually is non-hostile, so I feel actually bad about doing that. Wait, is this it? No, it's just my, you know, in general. There's so many little things to pick up episodes of this. But yeah, this is System Shock. Just, you know. All things considered, I think it's aged pretty gracefully. This first-person RPG. Lots of ways to approach problems. Got us a hacking minigame here. Trying to back up by hitting S. And not isn't the opposite way. Very good soundtrack. I don't mind the, you know, restricted field of view. I mean, back up, you know. But yeah, just, you know, explore a big space station. Deal with a fun, memorable rogue AI. Doesn't seem to have any like really harsh punishing mechanics. Aside from the movement controls being slightly off, I think it plays pretty nice, honestly.
Showdown security's closing down on us.
That's right.
The elevators are frozen. Myra keeps saying that it's the cameras and the medical CPU core, that Shodan's using these to hold onto the level. That's all fine, but I don't really see how it helps. The thing is everywhere.
Hello? Seems pretty chill. Yeah, okay.
Gunther was killed today. I can't let myself think about it. I think I understand how Shodan is doing it. When we destroy the cameras and CPU nodes, Shodan loses some of its control over the station functions, at least on this level. I think I can restore manual control in the hospital.
Yeah, aside from like, you know, having to like that.
Status report. We're holed up in the Beta Quadrant behind a radioactive trench. The mutants are scavenging for food in the corridors and nesting in Gamma. I sent a party to the West Wing for supplies maybe 12 hours ago. Nathan Darcy is thinking up ways to disable the mining laser. It looks like we might hold them off.
If any survivors can hear me, please. Some of us are still resisting Shodan. We have a sanctuary in Beta Quadrant, guarded by a radioactive trench. There's a force bridge that operates off a wiring panel. If you're coming in from Alpha, our guards will extend the bridge for you. Be very careful. Mutants are all over the corridors. Good luck.
That wasn't helpful as I thought it'd be. But yeah, I find it's like very manageable this day and age. If I could switch that S and X to, you know, W and S, that'd be fine. So I'm gonna actually like play through this version of this one of these days all the way. Ooh. Oh my. I did not realize that there was cyberspace to deal with. I guess it's just a question of like try not to smack into the walls. Okay, I'm quite confused. This is rad. Something they're not useful apparently. Oh, looks like that. Yeah, okay. Uh-oh. I'm loving this though. This is rad stuff right here. A little swimmy and herded. But yeah, oh, what an unexpected treat this is. It's a little weird and slippery. Oh, okay, so now I've got W to look up into. Okay. These are actually much more intuitive controls. Avoid that. These two of those kind of like do their own thing with you. Oh no. Right, so that works. So yeah, cool game, honestly. Would like to play more of it sometime. It's got a lot going on. And again, like I thought it looked really nice for how low of a game it is, too. So the last thing I wanted to get to is something I did stream part of last night before things cut out. And ones I was very, very much looking forward to, and I'm very, very relieved to see it runs fine on here for the most part. So this is once again Slitterhead, which is just rad. So I inadvertently played this a bit off camera. So this is a game where you are controlling just this weird ghost thing with no real body of your own. Just very, very, very freely possessing other people. Every once in a while you meet somebody who is just kind of like in tune with you, and then you can just kind of like hang out.
Follow this. Yes, that's it.
And also they have like cooler abilities when you're possessing them. And, you know, like remain conscious of the whole thing, so you can add them to your psychic friend network here and hang out. Kind of like how these dialogue scenes are just like, here's this very abstracted version of this person just hanging out, doing her thing, just at home someday, and
No.
got your weird cryptic whispering in her head. But yeah, she didn't have it originally, but after joining the party potentially, she decided to pick up this little mask and hoodie combo to not be detected by people, like, you know, do the vigilante thing. You can get alternate costumes and masks for her and the other, like, 9 characters that you eventually find. And you can also get points put into various skills. Instead of having the usual, like, big, huge... Oh, you didn't see any of the combat, because it cut out before any of that. But yeah, when you're possessing people and there's monsters around, you can just, like, cut open your wrist, basically, and pull out, you know, this, like, big mace of solidified blood to hit them with. Special characters get, you know, their own unique weapons. In her case, it's just, like, big, long claws. And some other cool blood powers you can get to, you know, do neat stuff. And then what you can unlock, this one particularly good. This is the no friendly fire skill, because it is very hard to avoid that the way combat works in this game. Anyway, I did a mission when you weren't looking. I'm just going to move on to the next one, if you don't mind. So yeah, as you proceed along, you can and have more people to pick from. You can have somebody you start out possessing, and then somebody else who just, like, agrees to hang out for the day while you're doing your thing.